Okay, here we go. Everybody hear me fine now? I hope. Seems that my sound was killed again. I don't know why it does that, but it seems to do it just about every broadcast. I should learn to check it to be sure that it did it so that I can fix it with every single broadcast I start, which I have no idea why. It gets rid of my... It basically just gets rid of all of my audio, which I don't even understand. Anyhow, welcome to the first show back in North Carolina since my trip to Florida. I had a good time overall on my trip to Florida, even though it seemed like it was going to have a different outcome. It did have a good outcome after all. And I got to visit with Eric and get a lot of work done while I was down there. And I came back up here and had to take a couple of days off. And I've been working on getting caught up and getting everything back together since I've been back in North Carolina. I almost forgot what state I'm in. Okay, I've got a number of rolls that I owe you all from last time. Let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had 3 rolls. Say I've got a 55D, a 57D, and a 50D Jefferson nickel roll to get to this week, plus the 1989 mint sealed bag. Now, I've got 3 additional rolls that I'm going to add to that. We're going to sell those spots tonight. We have a 1947S roll. We have a 1951D roll. And we have a 1955D roll. Pictures of the 46 DDR from the pull. No, I've not seen them yet. I'll have to take a look and see what I can see that he's done. I have not been on the coin part of computers very much recently. I just got in a new product. I'm a little bit excited about this new product. Well, I call myself Coppercoins. We've got Coppercoins. We've got Coppercoins everywhere. Now, if I'm doing Coppercoins, why not sell copper, right? Because copper is a continuously speculative metal that continues to go up in value. And I bought in to a bunch of copper rounds. Now I have 36 different designs of copper rounds that I'm slowly adding to the website on lincolncent.com. You can go over there and take a look at them at any point in time. Let's see, what else do I have going on? Oh, I was informed yesterday by a friend of mine. He congratulated me on my nomination. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said that I was nominated to the list of CoinWorld's most influential numismatists from 2023. Somebody nominated me for the list, and I am now being considered for voting as one of the most influential numismatists of 2023. The Coppercoins page on Facebook has a link to that. Let me see if I can provide a link here. Perhaps I can. If you want to go and see who is on the list, there's about 300 people on there altogether. I just happen to be one of them. And you can... Let's see, let me get onto the right place here. Hang on just a second. Let's see if I can find this. You can go there and vote for all of the people you think are the most influential. But I would appreciate if you would vote for me as well. Now, the interesting part of this is I have no idea who put me in the running. I have no idea who nominated me, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Here is a link to it, if it'll let me. I believe that's a followable link. It's at survey.alchemer.com. It is a CoinWorld Most Influential People in Numismatics 2023, and it is a ballot that anybody can vote in. You just click next at the bottom of the screen, and it will take you into the ballot where you can vote. It is a third-party voting service, and that's what that is. I appreciate it, folks. Let's move on and see what we've got with these rolls tonight. Now, these rolls are going to be in addition to the rolls that I will already be doing for this week, so we will have a little bit of extra this week. This is a 1947S roll. 1947S. We're going to be opening this one this week. Let me get my page together so I could be ready for when we get ready to go on this. I am alone this evening because Eric is working on his house and he's probably exhausted otherwise. So we are going to do this, just you and me. So I'm going to do all the calling and all the typing and everything tonight. So it's going to go just a little bit slower than normal. Let me get this one up here. It is a 1947S roll. We're going to be $7 per coin. We've got three per person. I'm sorry, three per person. And we're going to start this one off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Malcolm is stuck working on a car this evening, so he wanted in on everything. I got him in on everything. So we're going to start with Taco John and Jim Fletcher, Mark Thomas, Sissy. Then, let's see, Mr. French wants 2. Then we've got Carl for 3. We've got Chuck for 2. There's Richard Sappington for 1. Paul Hampton for 2. Then we've got Mickey Furr for 2. We've got Otis for 2. And Parviz gets 3. And then Cat Morgendollar for 2. And Mr. Worley for 3. Farm Dog for 1. Dennis wants 1. Taco John for 1. Kimberly for 1. And let's see, do we have anybody else in here? Let's see, did I get Jim Fletcher? Yeah, I got Jim Fletcher. Okay, so I've got 3 additional for Jordan. I've got, let's see, Carl wanted 1 more. Thank you, Raymond. Carl wanted 1 more. Let me get Carl on here. And then I've got 4 left at the end. Taco John wants another one, so I'll get Taco John another one on there. So Taco John's got 4 altogether. Anybody else want in on this? I have 1 extra coin. 1 extra coin now. Okay, Jim Fletcher will take it. I appreciate that. All right. Now, I'm going to do my next roll. Next roll is going to be 19. Chuck, I already got everybody in there. You've got 2. No, actually, you've got 3. Okay, you've got 3, Chuck. I've got the 1 in there for you. All right, next roll up. Reveal number 502. Reveal number 502 will be this 1951D roll. Take a look at the top coin here real quick. Okay, well, it's not the prettiest coin in the world, but it is okay. It's 1951D. And for the 1951D roll, we are going to be doing these at $5 per coin. And they are $5 per coin, max of 3 per person. We're going to start this one off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's see. We've got Richard for 1. We've got Carl for 3. Then we've got Cat Morgendollar for 3. Then we've got Otis for 2. We've got Paul for 3. Mark Thomas for 3. Farm Dog for 2. Taco John for 3. Chuck Patillo for 1. Jim Fletcher for 3. Dennis for 1. Then we've got Mr. French wants 2. Sissy for 3. We've got Mickey Furr for 3. Let's see. Carl, I already got in here for the max. Parviz We'll take 3. And then let's see. Kimberly takes 1. Hello, Cookie. You're not too late, Cookie. You need to get in, though. I'll get Cookie in. You have to say bin and a quantity. There you go. Bin 3. Okay, Cookie gets 3. All right, now I'm going to go back to, let's see, Parvez for Jordan. And then I've got 1 spot left. And that 1 spot left. Oh, actually, I'm going to take one of those spots away. And I'm going to put Leighton in both of those spots. So I've got two for Leighton. And that's how we're going to handle that. So, Leighton, you've got your 2 spots in this roll. It's 1951D roll. Let's see. For Parvez, I was able to get 2 in for Jordan, 3 in for you. And that is all. No, the nickel roll has been gone. Look at that. Pretty nice looking coins in that 55D roll. So this 1955 deal will be coin roll hunt number 503. Where is my brain right now? I do not know. Let's see. These are going to be at $3 per coin. $3 per coin, max of 3 per person. We're going to start this one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Cookie gets 3 right off the bat. Mark Thomas for 3. Taco John for 3. Paul Hampton for 3. Jim Fletcher for 3. Carl for 3. Dick French gets 3. Farm Dog for 2. Parvez gets 3. Now let's see, what do we have next here? Dennis Paulson for 2. Then we've got James Worley for 3. Richard Sappington for 2. Sissy for 3. And then I've got CBIP for 3. And then Otis for 3. And let's see, Mickey Furr for 3. Then I have Kimberly for 3. And then Leighton for 3. But only gets 2 because that's the end of the roll. So I have everybody accounted for. To Leighton for 2 of his 3. And that accounts for all 50 coins in that roll. Counts for all 150 coins for this week. I'm kind of slow and steady on selling new ones because I've already got some that I owe you guys. We have 3 rolls, a bag reveal, and then 3 more rolls. So we've got 6 reveals plus a bag reveal coming up this current week. That will sort of kind of replace the absence by Eric, who is working on his house, working on repairing his house from the hurricane. Has to rip out all the drywall and all the wallboard and stuff, all the gypsum in his office room where he generally does his reveals and everything. So, yeah, Leighton does need to be changed to blue, doesn't he? There we go. Leighton should be blue now. A managing moderator. All right. So, we are gonna do these this week in the absence of Eric doing any reveals. He'll actually be able to sit in his breaks and watch it from his phone, which he likes doing. And so we will get these done. We're going to have an auction tomorrow. The auction tomorrow is going to be, let me see, what did I do for tomorrow? I think it's chiefly, let's see, auction number 165. Yeah, it's chiefly nickels. There's a lot more nickels than anything else. Actually, they're all nickels. we're going to work on nickels this week. Does anybody want to do a nickel auction? Tomorrow is the day. I'm going to have the list up later tonight of the items that will be in this auction, probably around 30 lots altogether. Get 30 lots done altogether in the nickel, the nickel auction, and then we'll come back to do a mixed auction the following week, next week, 228. But 221, February 21 is auction number 165, mostly nickels, and then the 228 auction the following Tuesday will be back to pennies. No pre-Jeffersons. These are all, well, there will be some buffaloes, but they're not going to be exciting buffaloes. Nothing high value. So we'll come back. No, there's not going to be any graded, no graded nickels this time around. I don't think. I may have one or two, but I'll have to find them. See if I can find them and get them in there if I do have them. But it's chiefly going to be some pretty nice nickels I picked up in row boxes and graded them, put them out for the auction. There are a lot of nicer nickels, a lot of decent ones. For instance, there's going to be some, let's see, let me take a look at it here real quick. Yeah, some earlier proof Jefferson nickels going back to 1953. Some 50D Jeffersons. There will be a 43 PDS set. There will be a number of pretty decent ones. A lot of BU coins, a lot of nice ones. But they're going to go up to auction tomorrow here on the Coppercoins channel. Let's see, what other updates do I have? Let's see. Nothing other than that I've started adding copper to the unsearched.com website. Copper rounds, actually some pretty decent copper rounds. Let me get my... I'm done with the show now. Anybody who wants to go ahead and go certainly may, and I appreciate you being here. I'm going to do a display capture here and show a few things on screen. This is my primary screen over here, so let me bring up a new window here and go to unsearched.com, and I'll show you some of these. Let's do a view all categories and go into the copper. Here's some of the copper designs that I've got now. And these are only $1.88 a piece. I mean, you can't really get them cheaper than that, right? What about license plates? License plates? License plates? Did somebody say license plates? I'm always into talking about license plates. Anytime, anywhere. Well, we can go into one of these. Here's a Colt 45. Bring it up to large size so you guys can see it. And so that's one of my new copper rounds that I have. I think Kevin's poking at me. But that's that. I'm going to start working on putting a whole lot of new stuff in unsearched.com in the coming weeks. But right now, I have 16 products in there. 16 products in there. There's 36 altogether, 36 different ones. So I'm going to keep working on adding those. You said license plates. That takes me to my current project. There's 36 different designs, Taco John. My current project, I'll show you guys my current project. This is actually the work I'm doing on one of the license plates for my new poster that I'm working on. And you can see that it's very intricately drawn using vector graphics. And these things work in mysterious ways. Yeah, there you are, Doug. And yes, you are fashionably late. But this is how vectors work. And vector graphics, you can take the points and move them around and change the shape of things. And so it takes some practice to get used to how the curves and how everything works with vectors. But that's what a vector graphic looks like. It is a mathematical calculation. It's not actually a pixel drawing, so it never forgets its proportions. Let's see here. Okay, so that's what one of the license plates looks like in action. Now, I'm going to do the open recent. This is my poster that I'm working on. And this poster, I have hand created every one of these license plates from scratch, totally from scratch. And I'm working on all the years they ever made license plates in North Carolina from 1913 all the way up to now. And of course, you see there's a bunch of blank spaces for most of them because I'm still working on this project, and I've been working on it for about 2 months now. And this is a very, very time-intensive project that I'm working on here. You can see that as I go in on them very closely, you can see that everything in here is nicely embossed, and it's got all of its proper shapes and sizes and everything for everything. All the borders are correct. The holes, even the holes on the plates, are correct and in the correct places. And so this is my project. This is the project that I'm working on right now. It's for all the plates ever made in the state of North Carolina. It's going to turn out to be a poster that will be a frameable, hangable poster. And I'm just into it. I like it. And so I want to show it to you guys because, well, it's fun. And I'm working on it. Actually, this little diamond right here needs to move on that plate because it's too high up. It needs to be centered on the numbers. But yeah, this is something that you're never going to see unless you know a graphic creator that can do something like this. But you know, here's a 1916 license plate. They've got chips in the numbers. But this is what I'm working on for the state of North Carolina right now. And that's because I live in North Carolina. And, well, this is a kind of thing that I think that people in North Carolina might enjoy having. History of license plates in North Carolina is what it's called. I've used an old map, a really old highway map, and I have cut out all of the coloring on the map, meaning all of the dark red and black lettering and blue lettering, and I've cut it out and I've pasted it onto coffee stained parchment, like old like parchment paper type stuff, and I've created this from scratch. This part is all from scratch right here. But you can even see the detail, the extreme amount of detail. Oops, let's get this. There's your coming into Charlotte. There's Newell and Harrisville, Huntersburg. There's Gastonia. You see how far away Charlotte and Gastonia were from one another at one time? Now Charlotte and Gastonia, they touch each other. Gastonia is where the airport is for Charlotte. Delaware has not had very many different tags over time. The blue tag with the I think they're yellow lettering have been around for a long time. The black tags, the new black tags, are a remake of black tags that they had many years ago, and then they came out with them again. And as I understand, you pay more money to get the numbers that are lower digits and lower and more meaningful digits. And it's kind of neat because, I mean, I like the plain black tags they've got, but it's an interesting thing. But Delaware is a little different from most other states with regard to how they handle their license plates. North Carolina is very unusual in that they basically change the design of the plate every few years, even though they didn't change much. And like you can see here, the difference between 1930 and 1931, when you look at it up close and you look at the font, the number font, how the numbers have these fancy curves in them and they don't in 1930, and how even the font of the words North Carolina changed. They changed where they put the holes. They changed the size of the tag on a very frequent basis. And it's interesting to see all the different plates that they issued over time, and how when I start creating my fonts for these to use them on these plates, I can't use the fonts for more than a few years because they would be inappropriate. So the font for 1931, 32, and 33 is the same, but in 34 they changed again. They went to a fatter font with a slightly different shape. You can see the fives in these plates are different. You can see how the 5 on these two different plates is very different from one another. But this is my current art project. It's kind of a toy that I like to play with. I'm thinking about spreading these plates out on the top row to make them justify left and right. But here's where I have all the different rows, so I can take row 3, there's row 2, here's row 1, and the first plate in row 1 is this one, and I can move it over, do whatever I want to do with it, just like that. And now it justifies more to the left side, like that. Now I can take the other one on the other end and space it to the right, and then make all the rest of them even in between. And so now I have even columns, or even box of license plates that you can frame, that you can, put your mat board around. I think the final size on this is going to turn out to be 18 by 24, 18 inches by 24 inches, so it will mat and frame inside of a 24 by 30. And I just think it's cool. I think it's neat. I like it. I want to do it. I like it. So if you don't like it, you don't have to. But because I'm profusely colorblind, and I've always been profusely colorblind, my childhood took me toward things that had a lot of color. And color was all over, because the brightest colors attracted me, because things that didn't have bright colors didn't really attract me. So when a set of something meant you had to have a whole lot of different colors, like a box of crayons, those are the things I always liked the most. And I found that license plates, back when I was a little kid, they changed license plates and changed colors on license plates every year. So if you collected license plates from some states, you get a brand new license plate every year. And they stopped doing that sometime in the late 70s for most of the states. But license plates were always a very interesting collectible to me. And I have a group on Facebook where I... how many cities in North Carolina? Good gosh, I don't know. How many cities in North Carolina? How many big cities, or just how many cities altogether? Because if you just go with the bigger ones, there's there's Asheville, Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh, and Wilmington. 6 bigger cities, but there's a lot of smaller towns. We've got Mount Airy, which is the home of Mayberry in the Andy Griffith show. Andy Griffith was from North Carolina. Let's see, other people from North Carolina. Let's see, there's Wolfman Jack. He was from North Carolina. The Andre the Giant, the wrestler, was from North Carolina. A lot of people from North Carolina. A lot of famous ones. But that's my current project. That's what I'm working on now. Now, another project that I was working on not too long ago, and I'm still playing with it here and there, is, here, let me open up my... Let everybody see all my little secrets. Let me open it up over here, and then I'll bring it in. Some of you are familiar with this, and some of you are not. Let me go ahead and shut this down. And here's another one of my little projects that I've been working on. I'm kind of done with it, but... So here is a sheet of baseball cards from 1955. This particular sheet of baseball cards is a unique item. There's only one known. It was sold at auction in 1993, and this is a photo of a page in a printed catalog where this sheet was sold. Now, this is a full sheet of baseball cards. Now, this is the only image of the sheet known to exist on the planet, period, done. There are other sheets for which there are actually real photos, good, nice, clean photos. This is one of them. You can see that there's a corner crease up here. There's some staining, some folding. There's a crease that runs across the sheet right here. But this is a complete sheet of 1955 baseball cards. Now, back to this. The only one known is this image right here. Well, I decided I would go and recreate this sheet from scratch, because through using highly detailed digitized images of the baseball cards, I could pick out the stances and the faces and the logos of the teams and stuff like that to figure out whose card was who and which cards matched and how to get them all in line properly. And this was the final subject right here. This I made from scratch. It is every one of the cards that belongs on that sheet, all put together in beautiful color. And so I created this from scratch. And I did a lot of work to get it there. I mean, including, for instance, like figuring out who or what card numbers, who was on each spot. So there's my columns and rows. This was a different sheet, not this one. Let's see. That was sheet 1. Here's sheet 2. Let me see if this is the right one for this. Yes. Yeah, this is the right one for this. And where I had the biggest issue figuring things out was right down here. I had a hard time figuring out who these cards were because the image was so dark and it was so kind of messed up. But over a period of time, I finally came to figure out that this card right here and this card right here were the same one. And Topps almost never put duplicates next to each other. But as it turns out, those two cards turn out to be Warren Spahn. And if I bring my large size image back over, I can show you that Warren Spahn is indeed those two cards on my sheet. That was a really tough part of it to figure out. Just think about it. If you get these 6 cards right here, you get Hank Aaron, 2 Warren Spahns, a Jackie Robinson, and a Ted Williams. How about that, right? But that's just some of the stuff I like to do. Some of the stuff I like to do playing around. Yes, 1955 was Harmon Killebrew's rookie. It also was Roberto Clemente's rookie. I believe it was also Sandy Koufax's rookie. See you later, Carl. Let's see. There was another project that I was working on. Let me see. Let me get into it here. 1977 was the first year I collected baseball cards. And I decided to put together a poster of all 660 cards in miniature with an image of a wrapper to put it together kind of as a poster board poster to hang up on a wall. And this is what I came up with. This is all 660 cards from 1977 put in order with this graphic I created from a wrapper. And if you look, you can actually see all the players are there. Everybody is on this one, to include my favorite player, George Brett. See George Brett somewhere over here on this. There's Dave Winfield. It's a favorite for a lot of people I know. Let's see. There's John Mayberry. That looks a little bit like the stance George Brett has on his card. Let's see here. I guess I've forgotten where George Brett is in this set. But that's my 1977. I thought I'd be able to easily find George Brett. I guess I didn't. There's George and Ken, the Brett brothers. But that's what I do when I'm not talking to you guys, and when I'm not putting something else to do. Do I need any type of software to do things like this? I use Photoshop pretty much exclusively to do what I've done. I actually had a guy pay me to put together digital recreations of baseball card sheets, the uncut sheets. So what I do is I take images of every single card, and this is for 1963. So what I would do is I would take every single card and I would cut out all of the flat color, whatever the flat color is. This is a red card, that's a blue card, there's a green card. Okay, and then I would glue the cards in where they belong in the sheet. And this is what I came up with. Oops. If I do that this way. There we go. And so this is what a complete sheet of 1963 baseball cards looks like. They actually put them in order like this. So I thought, what a cool thing. I just kind of like this. I just think it's fun. I enjoy doing it. It's very tedious work, but it's enjoyable at the same time, and it helps people in the baseball card collecting community because we are able, these cards, and let me explain this again, these cards are put on this sheet in the exact order that Topps put them on the sheet when they printed them. So when they would print a sheet of cards, this is exactly what it looked like, and then they would cut them after they were printed. So if you get a sheet that's cut wrong and it's cut off center and you get a little piece of the next card over, then you can use that information to help you figure out the orientation of a sheet. And I worked with the orientation of a sheet with a couple of other people just to come up with all this information and to be able to put it in place. Need to do the backside with a map of cards. I've also done a little bit of artistic project work, you might say. Let me find. I really like tobacco cards, but I can't afford them. Because I can't afford them, I just make my own, right? It's just the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. Let's see if this is right. Let's see if this is the right file. Yeah, here it is. This is the back side of my little tobacco cards that I made, and I made sure to put reprint on every card, so when they print, you get the word reprint on them. But I'm working on a complete set of tobacco cards. Let me go back to my properties window, and let me get my layers window, and there's the backs. Here's the fronts of those cards. And with each one of these, I have recreated the cards basically from scratch by using an image of the original card. So this is an image of the original card, but the name on the bottom, I have redone them from scratch because the names they come out a little bit blurry if you do them not using text, but I use text so I can actually make them show up better. So every card has been redone from scratch, and then I print them, and I just keep them for me. I like them. Print you a Honus Wagner? Well, Taco John, as it works out, I just happen to have, let's see, is it page 2? How about page 1? Let me knock out page 2. There we go. Honus Wagner, right there. My original Honus Wagner card right there. I've got all the big stars are the ones I did first, like Chief Bender. There's Tinker, Evers, and Chance on here. The 3 points of the Cubs. There's Evers and Chance. I don't know where I put Tinker. But here's Ty Cobb. Napoleon Lajoie, or Lahoe. I don't know how you pronounce it. Here's Cy Young. So, yeah. So I just enjoy doing this. I just think it's fun. And I print them on 8.5 by 11 sheets. And I roll layers together to actually make the cards look right. And let's see if I can lift this up to a point where we can actually use it. Let me dun 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 dun. Where did I put that? Browser, image, audio, and display capture. Here it is. Okay, so now we'll come into the cards. So these are the cards as I actually created them. If you look, they've got backs and fronts on them, and they've got a little bit of thickness, and they're made of whiteboard, and they've got a little thickness to them. They feel and look like real tobacco cards. Don't know why my well, let's see here. Configure video. White balance, I'm going to move. It's not showing anything different. Gamma, how about gamma? Well, gamma works, but the white balance doesn't. Okay. Alright, we'll just do it like it is. It turns out a little bit on the weird side for color. But here's all my cards. And in fact, with the Ty Cobb card, I actually put the Ty Cobb back on it. But see, I very fancifully put the word reprint on there, so it didn't come out as a real card. I might actually create a whole set of these. I may actually create more than one whole set. But these are handmade, so they're going to be a little more expensive than your typical cards. Chance Avenue was named in Fresno, California. But here is, that's what I've got of a set right now. These are all different. And let's see, like right back in here is, there's Louis Tannehill. There we go. There's Honus Wagner. Now, if you got into this in fine detail and you look at it under a microscope, you're going to see it's not real. But that's good enough. I don't care. If we get up close to this, and let's see here. My light is on. There you go. Okay, so these are the arrangement of dots that they actually used to print the original cards, but there would be no print dots out here. And these lines around the edges would be solid. They wouldn't have dots. And then on the back, all of this printing should be solid, no dots. And then where I put the word reprint, you'll notice it's slightly different than the words following it. The original card would say factory right there. And then the bright yellow dots in there to kind of even out the color so that it's an off-white. There has to be a little bit of yellow mixed in that. It's basically pixel mixed that way. Yeah, you can buy a complete reprint set on eBay, but they're horrible quality. I have a set from the mid-1980s, and the quality of what I'm creating here is almost true to the original cards. The thickness, they're very thick. They're not made of cheap cardboard. They're made of good board. Pete Rose Hall of Fame. I'm gonna say probably not. Too many politics involved in that. But yeah, that's one of my little loves in life. As is making cards of the people I really, really liked and never had a chance to actually get the real thing. I just make them myself. This is a gray background, chipboard cards, very thick. And that's a Willie Mays rookie, 1951 Bowman. Made one of my favorite 55 rookies, Roberto Clemente. And these cards are actually, they are proper color. It's just odd that they're not showing up proper color on under this. But they've got brown backs or the dark backs, just like the real cards did. They're just blank. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to copy these cards so that I can sell them for anything. I just copied them because I want to hang cards on my wall, and I want to do it in a haphazard fashion, and I don't want to ruin real cards, but I want to put all the people together that I really like in baseball and make their cards so I can hang them on my wall. George Herman Ruth. Here's another one for you. Lou Gehrig. Gehrig's big league card. What else? So I got Mickey Mantle. I got one of his ugliest cards. That's a 1954. That was his first card where he actually looked comfortable in a photograph on the card. So I kind of like it. But anyhow, that's part of my graphic stuff. Frostbite, I'm sorry you missed the beginning of the show. I haven't done any drawing. Probably 2 or 3 years now. I get in these funks where I just don't like to draw, and then I get in these mania fits where I draw all the time and don't stop. I felt a mania coming on. Watched a few videos, and the videos discouraged me because the artists in the videos are so much better than I am at it. So I kind of dropped it for a while. Hi, Roy. How are you doing? There are a few new people in here who were not in here during the beginning of the video, so I'm going to recap a couple of things. First thing I want to recap is that I am carrying bullion, or well, sort of bullion copper now. Billion, whatever you want to call it. Let me open up the website again there and go back to this so you can see. That is my copper bars and rounds on lincolncent.com. In the copper bars and rounds category, you can see I'm selling them for $1.88 a piece. Compare that to the $2.50 or more that you're going to pay other people for them. I think copper is a good metal to be getting into. I think it's going to go way up in value over the next few years, so I bought into it myself and decided to provide that to my customers as well. And with any of these, you can bring up the product and you can expand the size of the image so you can see the detail. Add the link for what? The copper bullion? Of course. There you go. The other thing, I'm going to leave you guys a link here. Let me turn this off. And let me go grab this link here real quick. I was nominated by someone, I do not know who I was nominated by, to be on the ballot for voting as one of the most influential numismatists of 2023. I appreciate the nomination. However, I have no idea who nominated me. But I had a friend of mine bring my awareness to it by sharing the link with me where anyone can go vote. This is put on by Coin World. They have a third-party survey company actually perform the voting. And here is a link to that where you can go in and you can you have to do it by March 15th, but you go in here and read it, and then you click next, and when you click next, it'll show the names of roughly 300 people in numismatics, and I happen to be one of the people on that. You can vote for me as one of the most influential numismatists of 2023, and well, I would appreciate it. They do a if I am one of the winners, which I don't know how many there are or who they choose or how many they choose, I really don't know. But if they do choose me, they would do a spread in Coin World about me, talking about my history and my history in the industry and things like that. They'll be asking me a few questions or something, and then that goes in an article that they do on each of the different people who basically win the contest, I guess. You might call it a contest. I don't know. Not really sure what to call it. But anyway, that's the things I need to add for now. We will have an auction tomorrow. Our auction tomorrow will be mostly... can't get a victory speech ready. Our auction tomorrow will be mostly nickels, then we return back to cents for the following week. And I guess that's all I have to add right now. I'll see you guys at the auction tomorrow. I wish you luck in bidding on the nickels tomorrow. There will be some good ones in there, so you need to come back. If you collect nickels at all, tomorrow's going to be a good day to be here. But anyway, I appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Thanks very much. Yes, tomorrow at 7.